Hi y'all, my name is Rebecca and welcome to my channel. It is summertime and it is hot, but I'm enjoying these summer months and I still have my summer decor up even though the stores are full of fall and Halloween. I'm out there looking. Don't let me fool you. I am out there every store looking to see what is going to be new for the upcoming season, and it's exciting. However, I don't like to look too far ahead because then I miss the things that are happening in the present. I'm enjoying the summer months and I thought I would show you a cute deco mesh wreath that I created for my door for the summer. So come craft with me. Dollar Tree sells the cross wreath form in their stores and it is absolutely beautiful to use it for what it was intended. But when I seen it, I thought immediately that it would make a very good base for an ice cream cone. I took my wire cutters and I went up one rung from the end and I just clamped my wire cutters over the end of that and I bent it back and forth until it gave way. I wrapped the ends since they were just a little bit snaggly and a little bit sharper. I wrapped the ends with some twine. I just tied a really tight knot and then started wrapping the ends until they were a little bit more covered and nobody would get damaged if it poked them. I used my needle nose pliers and I bent the ends back so that they would be not sharp and they would be more straight up and down. So it would add just a little bit more safety to my project. I flipped it off and took a little dab of hot glue and made sure that that twine was nice and secure. I'm going to use the burlap that you can get in the fat squares at the Dollar Tree. I love this burlap and it is a nice thick burlap, a lot thicker than some of the burlap that you can buy in the stores on the bolt. So I use this a lot for my crafting. And if I see it in the stores, I always grab it. I just laid it and folded the ends over until the very end was covered. I cut it to size. I did not measure. And then I folded it over, ran a bead of hot glue, and made sure that it was attached to the wreath form frame real nice and secure. If you have sensitive fingertips, mine are not. I have burnt myself so much with hot glue. But if you have sensitive fingertips, then you might want to put some silicone protectors on the ends of your fingers. I took the bottom and folded it up and then just ran a little bit of hot glue to make sure that it would be really nice and tight and nothing would slip off. I'm going to use 2 rolls of pink and 2 rolls of white deco mesh from Dollar Tree. And then I grabbed a handful of chenille stems and I always cut them into 3s to save on my crafting supplies, waste not, want not. I simply cut 7 inches approximately of the deco mesh. I rolled it and then I put a chenille stem in the middle, twisted it several times really tight, and then I attached it to the wreath form. I'm going to use the crossbar on the middle and start putting my deco mesh bundles onto that middle bar of the cross. I had some deco mesh already cut up from a previous project and I wanted to use that first before I opened my new roll and started using it. But I just went straight across that middle bar of the cross and started filling my deco mesh in. I twist and flip as I go along and make sure that I don't get too much, because if you get too many bundles, then your wreath is not going to hang properly and it's going to try to poke out in areas that you don't want it to poke out in. And so I kind of do this in a project that I have not done before and I'm just winging it with my idea. I kind of cut and go at the same time. I finally did several bundles since I knew that I was kind of how many I needed, and I started just filling all that in. I started on one side and would put a bundle in, and then I would go to the opposite side, put another bundle in, kind of hopscotch back and forth, so that I would have an even amount of bundles on each arm so that one would not look more full than the other. I love projects that are easy on my wallet. This is less than $10 to make entirely with Dollar Tree products, and you get a really nice, full, fluffy wreath that is so summery and just gives off all of the vibes I've mentioned before in a previous video. I love the sound of the ice cream truck rolling down the street. In the spring, when I first hear it, I just know summer's right around the corner. And I absolutely love the sound of the ice cream truck. And I have a lot of fond memories of the ice cream truck. So I like to do a lot of ice cream themed things in the summertime. I finished filling in the cross arm, going from one side to the next, just twisting my chenille stem along that crossbar. I did make sure that the two in the center were really nice and fastened to that crossbar so that nothing would slip and slide. And then when I got to the end, I took my chenille stem and I twisted it around the outside of the crossbar and up and underneath so that it would not slip over on the outside edge, and it had something really to grab onto. I used 14 bundles of 3 on the arm section of the cross, and that filled out the bottom portion of my ice cream cone. I'm going to use my white Deco mesh and cut it into approximately 7-inch long pieces, and that is going to make my bundle of white. I did my white portion just a little bit differently because there are no crossbars for this to grab onto. I put one in the middle, and then I started to go along the top bar of the cross arm and attach my bundles of white. I did not want to go all the way down to the end because I wanted it to kind of have a little triangle. And so I took my chenille stem and I kind of pulled up a little bit on the chenille stem that was holding on to the pink that was closest to the bundle that I just put in, and I attached those two chenille stems together. And then I went up to the top bar. I did pull out a longer chenille stem for the very top, and I went ahead and I attached those chenille stems together, and I just twisted them really, really tight. And I only used approximately 8 bundles of white on the top arm, and then I put 3 bundles on the little top part of the cross, and I made sure that I used the longer chenille stems for these, and I twisted them very tight together. Otherwise, the bundles are just going to slide up and down, and you're not going to have any security, and it probably would work if you didn't attach them all together, but you're going to have to be constantly adjusting your wreath, and I don't have time for that. And I like for my stuff to stay exactly the way that I want them to look and when I place them on the door. Now, I'm a fusser, and so I'm always fussing with my things as I go along. It's just what I do. I took my Waverly chalk paint in maize, and I took a very small fine brush and started painting 3 lines onto the end of my burlap. And then I just took another, once I had those, just made a little cross, and I did them some longer, some shorter. I did not make sure that my burlap was really saturated with paint because I just wanted that ice cream cone look to it. This is a larger style cone that I did with a wagon wheel wreath form from Dollar Tree. I will link that video in the end cards if you are curious on how to make it. That video is the 4th of July, but you can do it in any color, and it's a nice companion piece to this wreath that I just made. This is what my little ice cream cone looks like on the door. It is so summery, and I absolutely love it. Y'all know I love to craft with Deco mesh, and I love to make Deco mesh wreaths. I will tell you that I make mine very simply. I have seen very elaborate folds and curls and all over YouTube, all over Facebook, Instagram. But I'm here to tell you right now, you're not going to see a lot of intricate things from me because I like to keep my videos simple. I like to keep my design simple. And I like to think that anybody can do it. And even if you're a beginner to the crafting world, I want crafting to be fun, enjoyable, and not a stressful experience. So don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell so that you know when I've uploaded my next video. Give me a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching Crafts, Laughs, and Chaos.